The Chinese aunties have once again drawn media attention. A mother and daughter from China visiting Penang, Malaysia, caused a dispute after buying durian from a local vendor. After eating the fruit, they refused to pay the full price, saying it tasted bad. They only paid part of the bill and withheld 9 ringgit. The vendor staff confronted them for several minutes, but ultimately had to let them leave. The incident was recorded by a foreign bystander. You are so young. You should be reasonable.
I think you should be reasonable. You are much older than me, so you should be the one being more reasonable. I'm only offering you this price because I'm being reasonable.
Don't bully an old man like me.
I feel like I'm being bullied.
I'm 70 years old, and I still have to argue with you over a few ringgit. People nearby also told the woman to pay the vendor staff. Meanwhile, the mother stood silently, watching her daughter bargain with the man.
No way. You should offer some compensation. It tastes so bad, really awful.
Are you feeling okay about this?
I'm not. If I pay you like this, I'll feel stupid. It's something that costs just a few ringgit.
So you're not paying now, right?
You should show some sincerity. You're the business. We're the customers. We ate something that didn't taste good.
You said it's not good. No one else has ever said that. At this point, the woman said it was rude for the man to point his finger at her. The man asked, "Are you polite then?" He added that the woman's attitude was hard to accept. The woman then mentioned she had met a very strange person before. The man replied, "If you think everyone else is strange, maybe the strange one is you." The two then parted on bad terms. The fact that the dispute was over just 9 ringgit has brought shame to Chinese beyond borders. Although they claimed that the durian was not good, they still finished the food, raising doubts that they were just lying. The mother and daughter's attempt to pay less drew noticeable attention from bystanders, though they did not appear to acknowledge it. One content creator emphasized that this happened in Malaysia, not China, so the incident has really brought shame to all Chinese people. Other commenters remarked, "If someone eats without paying, there's no point arguing. Just call the police and let them deal with it." The price was written clearly. Trying to haggle after finishing the food is just ridiculous. Her manners are really bad. If she didn't like the food, she shouldn't have eaten it. Nobody forced her. Some people are pathetic. They act like they're better than others when they're abroad, but can't even afford the trip. They have princess syndrome without the lifestyle. If you think other people are strange, maybe you're the strange one. The vendor handled it perfectly. Malaysian Chinese users pointed out that this behavior could occur anywhere. They noted that if food tastes bad, customers should stop eating immediately rather than finishing the dish and then complaining. For example, if a dish contained a cockroach, the proper response would be to raise the issue right away, not after consuming the food. They suggested vendors involve the police to enforce local laws and maintain order. There are also comments that said, within 90 days of reopening, such scams from Chinese visitors are already happening. They're leading in this aspect by far. The visa-free policy might have opened a Pandora's box rather than a door of friendship. The 90-day reference relates to Malaysia's Home Ministry announcement in late April. Malaysia and China agreed to extend the existing visa-free agreement for 5 years and lengthen the stay from 30 days to 90 days. Shortly after travel restrictions were lifted, such embarrassing incidents have already taken place. This is neither the first nor likely the last occurrence. Chinese tourists have already been involved in other instances of uncivilized behavior in Malaysia. The Petronas Twin Towers in Kuala Lumpur remain one of the city's most popular tourist attractions. However, in the Bukit Bintang district, part of Kuala Lumpur's bustling Golden Triangle, some Chinese tourists have been observed spitting on the streets and speaking loudly. These behaviors have drawn surprise and concern from other Asian visitors. A Malaysian tourism industry insider, speaking anonymously, said some Chinese tourists smoked inside service departments, causing smoke to spread into corridors and affect other guests. Some also cooked food in kitchen areas with doors open, while being shirtless, raising concerns about public image and disturbed other tourists. In Southeast Asia, Thailand is another top destination for Chinese tourists. Last year, Thailand expanded visa-free access to many countries, including China. Chinese visitors in Thailand have also displayed uncivil behavior, prompting Thai authorities to post notices in simplified Chinese. Where's your boss? What do you mean by this? Isn't this discrimination against Chinese people? Bring your boss here. Call the police. Explain why the sign on the pillar says there's a 1,000 baht fine and it's written in Chinese. Who made that rule? Who made that rule? Call the police. One Chinese man traveling in Thailand repeatedly shouted and demanded the removal of a posted notice. He threatened to call the Chinese embassy if it was not taken down. The notice said, "Dear customers, please do not pour water on the floor. Violators will be fined 1,000 baht. Thank you for your cooperation." After persistent demands, the restaurant owner ordered staff to remove the notice under the man's pressure. People commented and said, "What kind of education produces people like this? There's a reason they face discrimination, yet they still act like everyone's out to get them. It's their right to put up whatever signs they want in their own place. If you don't like it, don't go there. Who are you to demand they take it down?" A user from Taiwan commented, "Not allowing mainland Chinese tourists into Taiwan is the right decision. There are too many people with poor manners. Only the tourism industry would profit, while the people of Taiwan would suffer." The signs in simplified Chinese are not just in that one restaurant in Thailand. Last year, a Chinese tourist visiting a temple in Thailand saw a sign inside the bathroom that said, "Chinese tourists, please keep clean." She got so upset, she said, "That's really ruined my mood right away." Some little pink commenters agreed with the female tourist comments, but many others expressed frustration, saying things like, "As a Chinese myself, I really like some Chinese tourists who don't flush toilets, spit on the ground, talk loudly, and litter everywhere. Sometimes it's just the truth. I live overseas, and whenever someone criticizes China, I try to defend it. But seeing it for myself, people pushing onto the subway without letting others off first, no lines, lots of spitting, loud talking, smoking indoors, I can't really argue against that. Everyone knows how low the quality of behavior is at tourist spots back home." Previously, a Thai worker at a temple revealed that Chinese tourists there often leave trash and cigarette butts behind and show little respect for local culture. The biggest problem, he said, is the state of the restrooms. Chinese visitors frequently leave toilets dirty, with feces around squat toilets and even in urinals. The staff often have to clean up after them and face blame from locals for poor maintenance, leaving them feeling helpless and exhausted. Last year, a widely reported incident involving a young Chinese boy urinating inside Thailand's famous Grand Palace. Thailand's Minister of Tourism and Sports criticized the group's behavior, emphasizing the need to respect the sacred site. Officials also expressed concern that the incident could harm Thailand's tourism reputation and announced an investigation. The Grand Palace holds great cultural significance in Thailand and is a must-visit destination for foreign tourists. Outside Southeast Asia, the number of Chinese tourists visiting Japan has also risen sharply. This increase has contributed to traffic congestion, worsening sanitation, and declining civility in Kyoto, accompanied by occasional anti-Chinese sentiment. On February 9th this year, a visitor wearing a kimono at Kyoto's Kodaiji temple was told not to take photos. The visitor ignored the request and threatened staff, saying Japan will become a part of China. Be careful, or you'll be wiped out. On the same day at Kodaiji, a white car with Osaka license plates blocked the temple entrance. When staff asked the driver to move to a nearby paid lot, he replied in broken Japanese, insisting that he was not a black taxi and used a threatening phrase in Japanese. In Japan, many Chinese operate guest houses and often use private cars to pick up guests from airports or take them sightseeing. These unlicensed taxis, known as black taxis, have increased in number around airports and tourist sites due to rising demand. Japanese online users said the driver's threat amounted to life-endangering intimidation. They urged filing a complaint so authorities can treat it as a criminal offense. Kodaiji Temple, located in Kyoto's Higashiyama district, is known for its moss garden and is a popular tourist destination. On social media, the temple stated, "We welcome foreigners who like and respect Japan. We welcome those who respect Japanese culture, people, language, and everything that exists here. We absolutely do not tolerate aggression. We hope that the world will bring wrongdoers to justice. Miss Oshima, who lives in Osaka, told foreign media she appreciates the city's international atmosphere and has met many foreigners, including Chinese visitors. However, she noted that over-tourism has led to a decline in sanitation and safety. She recalled an incident during a cherry blossom viewing when she saw a Chinese tourist climb a tree to take photos while shouting cheese. Soon others followed, and one person shook the branches, causing petals to fall as bystanders cheered. A Japanese restaurant owner, Kabayashi, shared that Chinese tourists dine at his restaurant regularly but often speak loudly, disturbing other customers, despite staff requests to lower their voices. The noise quickly resumes. This behavior frustrates locals, causes some Japanese customers to leave early, and has led regular patrons to stop visiting, which negatively affects business. At the end of last year, another incident occurred where 5 Chinese tourists reportedly caused significant damage to a guest house in Japan. Japanese users commented, because of these 5 people's misconduct, all of China will be seen in a bad light. Next time, we won't host Chinese guests. We'll explain why and post an announcement on our website. Chinese users also commented, this kind of uncivil behavior isn't welcome in China either. They should own up to it and compensate the landlord. Seeing this makes me more sad than angry. For some Chinese people, this isn't surprising in everyday life. Similar incidents have occurred in Osaka. A tourist from Shanghai booked a single room at a guest house but checked in with 6 people. After checkout, the room was left in disarray, with trash scattered everywhere, including empty alcohol cans, receipts, tissues on the floor and tables, and the dining table cluttered with garbage, drink boxes, and food containers. Reports of uncivil behavior by Chinese tourists at popular sites are common abroad. A video circulated last year showing a Chinese woman allowing her young child to defecate in public on Jeju Island, South Korea. The incident sparked anger among locals, who criticized some Chinese tourists for lacking morals and manners. To address such behaviors, warning signs in simplified Chinese, such as Chinese tourists, please flush after use, please be quiet, and don't spit on the ground, have become common in major destinations for Chinese travelers like France, Germany, Japan, and Thailand. These signs have caused embarrassment among Chinese tourists. Incidents of uncivil behavior by Chinese tourists have been documented worldwide. In 2018, a student on a Chinese study tour defecated in a corridor of the Tsimsha Tsui MTR station in Hong Kong. A local woman confronted the student and their teacher for nearly a minute over the behavior. In 2016, 2 Chinese male tourists urinated in Sydney's Royal Botanic Garden and clashed with police trying to intervene. They were arrested on charges of assaulting an officer. In 2015, a Chinese woman allowed a young boy to defecate outside a Burberry store in the UK, despite a piece of paper placed underneath and a restroom just meters away. The act drew negative attention and criticism. In 2012, the French fashion brand Zadig and Voltaire announced it would no longer welcome Chinese tourists at its new Paris hotel, citing poor behavior and lack of taste among Chinese visitors. A former history education professor at Beijing Capital North University, Li Yuanhua, explained that although some Chinese people recognize such uncivil behavior, its prevalence is rooted in how the Chinese Communist Party culture has undermined traditional values. This has transformed a nation once known for its etiquette into one marked by aggressive behavior. China's 5,000-year cultural heritage encompasses concepts such as Tian, heaven, Tao, the way, the divine, Buddhism, as well as Confucian virtues of benevolence, righteousness, propriety, wisdom, and trust. Before the communist era, China was celebrated as the land of courtesy, a reputation that deeply influenced neighboring countries like Korea and Japan. Through the Han, Tang, Song, and the Ming dynasties, China's civil society drew scholars from abroad eager to learn its knowledge and skills. Even in the Qing dynasty, young Chinese students sent to study in the United States quickly integrated into American society and forged lasting relationships. However, under decades of CCP rule, many basic virtues like propriety and shame have eroded among the Chinese people. Such behavior has brought international embarrassment. The widespread lack of morality, private ethics, and shame among some Chinese is attributed to the Communist Party's influence. Unfortunately, many Chinese remain unaware or even defend the party. There is hope that China can return to its true civilized roots, and that improved morality and culture will help its people regain respect on the world stage.